NPP MPB a suggestion bi aba beto dwa. Now personally I think say it is a good suggestion. A good suggestion. Now I'm going to tell you where I think that this suggestion is coming from. But nini name no, at the end of the day, the question we have for this NPP MP, and they say Emran NPP mo abemu for 8 years no sebe na ideas we ni na no. I didn't think I'm going to implement it. A very simple question. I'm a NPP MP. A good suggestion on the abadie, but 8 years I'm abemu. I didn't think I'm going to implement it. Especially MP aye beka ne ho asemi na oye Kenufo ne deputy minister. Na yewia Kenufo kam emsembi emra na omo ewa abemu. Intino the simple question for the MP is that now the suggestion in the tintin initiative say Ghana should get a dedicated fund for health infrastructure. Now that suggestion if we Gintiana Walker because of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and ya maybe a washa as yes a war no and a mimi susu say ama MP or the idea we ever. And then your first time subscribing and click the notification bell so yan is our latest news be about one sa ebeka. Mr. Will be biara watro exams a year wasi and an of deck our results no anko ye no. Me recommend this Sanctuary College amount school way ewo dansoman. Na the only reason why I am recommending this school and they say obi biara wa register with school way atro wasi and an of deck no e pass with distinction. It doesn't matter your past records. Obe pass with distinction. It tells you that they teach very well. Frewomo it was 05377302272. Now young consem I say Ghana needs a dedicated fund for health infrastructure. Abena Osei Asari. Also, the Member of Parliament for Etiwa East, Abena Osei Asari, has called on the government to establish a dedicated fund for health infrastructure in the country, separate from the annual health budget allocated to the Ministry of Health. Intino yenshe dainya a year futuo different one. Eno no sikane egum no yedibesi a year hospitals any other health infrastructure. Also in an interview with Channel 1 TV and monitored by Ghana Web on Sunday, December 21st, 2025, the former Deputy Minister of Finance stressed the need for the government to direct more resources towards addressing the country's health infrastructure needs. It was stressing the need. Say, and Ghana or see a share say you see more hospitals. Good. Listen, the reason why I'm sitting here to say a good and say suggestion now woman, it is going to help the country. So it is good. No two ways about that. Also, if you look at the chunk of health budget, 85% of that is compensation. What you have left is so minimal that it cannot address the health infrastructure gap that you have. And so, and so that if government will think of an initiative like the big push, now, me mamoti say there was a reason why this woman is saying this, because Mahama aye bibi, ema mami nehu say, dear Mahama aye no, eboa, and unti no the idea way, but once of Nankasaka, aseme na wokan, or say, if there is an initiative like the big push to allocate so much to the health ministry, inti adia Mahama aye mami nehu ne say, ye jumanti ye de call health ministry and a health sector ebeboa. Ade ben or say big push na Mahama aye no. Big push ni ye den. Big push ni ye dedicated resources ya sheda ye say ye di yi kwan wo Ghana. Enu nti nende Ghana kronimu ni na adane construction site. Bebi abeko bia ye yi kwan because ye nya dedicated sika ye di yi kwan. Nti won say mame na ka. So ye den His Excellency John Dramani Mahama initiative wade by a big push no and then ama mami wenya sa idea we. You get me? That is my theory. Also, this is free advice I have given to government. that they should do something similar like big push in the health sector. She lamented. You see why I told you, say, it is a good advice. Because indeed, the mamine can enquire. DNTia, aside the big push, no, I have seen that the NDC government is more like moving towards that lane. Now, when I say the NDC government is moving towards that lane, aside the big pusher, what else has the NDC done? Now, the NDC has also passed legislation to get a dedicated source and a dedicated fund for sports development. Till NDC a passé Embra to get a dedicated fund for sports development. Inti big push aba sports development aba. Inti ma meaning so hun say dabi and the yen health sector nso a ebeboa. Aside the sports development, no, NDC asanso a passé Embra to get a dedicated fund or source of money for the free SHS. So you see how the NDC is moving. These are some of the things bia aban we eye enyamba public main media so e man microphone sheda nyan say Mahama na aban enyama wo ye ni. Enyama bi say no microphone nyan realize ye. But we mu ye nyama nkitinkiti bia he me say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama won. Sa enyama washa asese wo ye no, it's just a matter of time. From next year, next 2 years, a sha asese e peke a won. Ghana fo be hu senia Ghana o man be pen into my prefer. Intala me asemo America ne say eye nkwa eni hia. Senia Mahama aban sha ase no, boko boko sa. Boko boko sa. Ni e bonya mempa say e be fa. Na fa won. Ghana fo be hu ne say yes. Amemu no difference home. Because now we have a dedicated source of funding for free SHS. Inti sa in someone here titi about free SHS say a friend say eduani ni ho any way ni ho any school ni here ways. We are not going to hear those things anymore because there is a dedicated source of funding for them. And I've told you, say we are simu obi biara obona ne bra Adia Mahama woye no, it's not even about Omaini Peu. It is about individual. Say individual bia wo born e brasa no ombre wo wiasimo. Yamvan say obi e wo dedicated source of funding bia. Say CK every month. And let me give you a perfect example. For people who do this, you know that life is very easy for you. Yamvan say at the end of the month, oje $1,000. Now our dedicated source of fund. Say $1,000 now meji every single month no. Me the $100 ebe investi. $1,000 now meji every single month no. Me the $20 ebe to accounts bi mo a eno no me the beto atare anantare. $1,000 now meji every month no. Me the $100 esi baby for emergency. Say me ho ba betre me a na me ni baby akwa eno na ebe je me. $1,000 no. Me the $50 esi ho for bills. They be electricity bills. $1,000 no. Me the $20 esi ho for car maintenance. He obi bia wo born e brasa no. Na we live life simple on sa level no say sika bia obenye bia se nipa che ni sika se die nkra na sa no be chiche sika no ato eye ni department a senior why ni sika we department like we departmentalizing ni sika no senior why no sa no be ye na hwe se nipa kro no ombre wo wiase mu because onye sika wo ni bebia sika na ekọ se nipa kro no na bra botu fa ne ka say ya onim say me wo dedicated source of fund ema me ka tienya afiansa okosire obi ho sika ene ma misika na me ka ase dabi ne ka ase ya wonim so dedicated source of fund opatare foforo onim se me de sika to ho se me de beto atare foforo enti it does not even feel say nipa kro no kra no emergency bia to no ema e de ahontre aba because we dedicate sika to ho. Now known as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama why ye especially with the free education and then the big push and then now with our sports. Now you see how these things no ombe develop it. Inti no na NPP MP nso hu was say and yenye bi ma the health sector, and I agree. Yenye bi ma the health sector. And the sources of funding, I am thinking, or I am suggesting, the sources of funding, I am suggesting, a bit to me the National Health Insurance Levy, no, a certain percentage, get better funding. The sources of funding, we don't need to increase taxes, but the sources of funding, of course, we will always have that we always have that the way, or we always have that medium or that door of donations. Say yes, Ghana for our monso per se omo donate no omo so ombetumi donate and also be boa. We can even think around certain areas, certain things. Say nkrofoko hospitals e wo kroma yen hwe wo mo records, yen check wo mo books mu. At the end of the year, sika se no mo make government hospitals no omo sika no yen te a certain percentage yen fan to fund nim. Let's be innovative about it. Let's see certain areas a yebetumi enya sika na free. Companies are omo manufacture eduro ewo krom ha a yeji omo tax yemfa sa sika ni bi ento fund nim. Pharmacies ewo krom ha wo mu ni na etua tax na wo mu tua no yenji a certain percentage, maybe 10%, yemfa ento fund nim. Anything related to health sector, health tourism or whatever, anything related to the health sector, let us be innovative. Let us be innovative. Nyempe sikano ento sa funding. Nti eno no sikano eba yenim se de yedi yeni. Eba yenim se de yedi yeni. And let us make sure say ya implementing imra na me kana masanso esisubiom. Let us make sure say ya implementing imra say sikano say ewo fund ni mu a yan fan nye bibia eje se ade a yese yede beye no. It's just like the sport fund. Yema embra nya den say yesi sika na yedi develop sports. Yekoko hu ne say yakwa akoyi sika no ene yede akwa akoye bibi outside of sports na yaje sika na. Ye make sure say nipa kra will take his decision no embra ni bedi, so that it does not become like the National Health Insurance under NPP sika yaje say yede ye National Health Insurance no ni yede ye bibi fufro dabi. I think say it's a good suggestion, but then the question I'll ask ye mami and say and for NPP for probably maybe she has heard say NDC for your margin some be BBC, because social how the NDC is moving now. Clearly you know that, and that's what NDC wants to do with the major sectors in this country, just as they've done for free SHS and they've done for the sports. No, I'd want to think that maybe next year's budget NDC is planning to do that for the health sector. And I am a miedi kanyambabeka, so that it will look like NPP for and I'm a NDC idea. Because then the question will be like NPP namu wabaimo for 8 years. It is our idea we were who didn't na one farmer the dada, and then now the idea we iba. You understand? So any mama say NDC crap plan is up so yeah dada. But basically, I think say what this woman is saying is an endorsement of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na memo. It is indirectly. She can't come out to say Mahama or minor obuni ye. But so one my suggestion we know, it simply tells you that Maamine who said Mahama will bo or mine ye. And that's what I'm taking from this. Montre mo adwen wo comment box ni mu. Me da say.